Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to create a little pressure sensor thingy where we press on a gummy bear and we see how much we're pressing on it. So here's a list of supplies that you need. And so this video is just going to show you how to wire it, and then the other video is going to actually code it. So here are the parts that you want to have. You're going to have obviously your gummy bear, your Uno, your little power thingy for your Uno. This is your pressure sensor. And then you're going to need 3 wires that have little punkies on them. And then you're going to need 2 wires that have entry thingies. I'm sure there's real words for these. And then punkies on the other side. And the reason we're doing this is basically just so that we can, come here, chicken. So we can stick these in here. And then we're going to put the gummy bear directly on top. So rather than trying to put this into the breadboard, we're sticking these into these holes. And you got to be careful because these will come out a lot. So, if you're doing this on a piece of paper, you might want to like tape it down or something like that. Okay, so we have our, man, that's sticky. Oh, because I accidentally took the back of it off. Well, that's why it's sticky, is because it's supposed to be. Put the back of it back on. So basically what we have is on our Arduino, we have pins on this side, and I think these are all digital, which means they're all 0s and 1s. But over here are analog, and that means we can get from, 0 to whatever the number is. So it doesn't have to be a, whatever you call it, a 0 or a 1. It can be a number in between. And so what we're going to use is we're going to use this pin called 5 volts. Okay, so we're using a 5-volt pin. And we're going to use AO. And since we're using AO and 5 volts, what I think that means is that our answer that we pull from this pin is going to be between 0 and 5. So it'll be any normal number between 0 and 5. So we're going to pull 5 volts and then a ground. It doesn't matter which ground you use, but it says GND and then this. Okay. So you don't really need to know anything about circuits because you've got your little diagram. You just basically have to follow directions. So it doesn't matter what the colors of the wires are, but you need basically a wire that goes from the 5 volts to a breadboard. Okay. And then the idea is the 5 volts goes to the breadboard. And then so whenever you have anything in a straight line here, all these are like connected under the ground or under the level. So now if I do this, then that means orangey and yellow, or orangey and red are connected. Okay. So orange and red are connected. So if I put this guy again over here on the other side, it'll be connected over here. But I'm going to do that last because he falls out. Okay. Then other side of this guy, I can just put like, wherever I want. I'm going to put him here. And if I look at the diagram, I can see that he needs to be connected via a resistor. Okay. So this is my resistor. So I want to make sure these aren't on the same row because they need to be on different rows. Because remember, each row is a connector. So I want this guy connected to a resistor, so I'm putting them on the same row. And then the resistor needs to be connected to a different wire. Now, on the picture, it shows that they're in this same row, this direction. It doesn't really matter. They just need to be in the same row, either on the top, like these two need to be in the same top row, and these two down here need to be on the same bottom row. So this guy is in here. So, oh my gosh, I can't see any of my glasses. So this guy is here. So that means now whatever he goes from here to, let's see. So where does this go? The A0, in the picture it's green. The A0 goes to this guy. The same guy that goes to the pressure-y guy. So green is on the same row as pressure-y guy and resistor. It doesn't matter which order you put the resistor in. You can flip it either direction. It doesn't matter. So green wire on the picture. Green wire goes to pressure resistor and real resistor. And then real resistor goes to wire and then wire goes to ground. So I'm just going to stick that in ground. Okay. And so that's it. So the biggest things is to make sure that these things are pushed all the way in. And then this guy goes, obviously, in here. And then that's going to get plugged in somewhere eventually to your computer. And then the thing here that's kind of annoying is just fitting these in here. And these will fall out constantly. So, if you want to put some kind of weight on here just to hold it down so that it's not moving. But this is where your pressure sensor is going to be. So if things are going wrong, it doesn't matter what order this is in either. So it doesn't matter. And if yours have separated, that's okay too. But this is where your gummy bear goes. And it's just so that you can feel that tensile response factor from pushing the gummy bear and having it back. So the big things you want to check is that the things that are supposed to be in the picture that look like they're in the same row, or I guess column, however you want to imagine it, that they're on the same row or column here, same row or column here, same row or column here. If it's not working, just take everything out and put it all back in and it'll probably work. But that's step one, is to get this wired up right.